This week on the show, we're featuring Malachite, 10 new jokes, iolite under the microscope cam, lickable treats on Why'd I Buy That, and 0-calorie entertainment. Also, 0 punctuality entertainment. It's weird being tall. I'm afraid of heights, so I get jealous of short people. Let's start the show. On with your head. Off with your long toenails, because you gotta clip them. Gotta clip them off. Good morning. It's Sunday, so morning lasts for a good 8 to 12 hours into the evening. There we go. Just a little nipperoonie. Trying to save the good parts. We'll be coming back to that soon enough. Some beautiful ruby and zoisite. Got some lines of marble running through it. Yeah. I gotta get back to shaping some of that. That's really good stuff. So, surprised you didn't say off with your clothes. Colette, that's why we have you here. Is to catch those inconsistencies. There we are. We had 11 short minutes to show the show. This show is shout. Bing! See? Just trying to shape it up. I got my findings and everything. We're making it happen. Making you happen because you're great. This show is PG. Which means it's penile guided. Hey, that's a scientific term. Okay. Cutting some malachite. Thing about malachite is it is actually a very soft stone. It's hard enough that you can polish it, but it's also soft to the grinder. It just kind of slowly, there's not a whole lot of like hard glass chippity chip. And it's very heavy. Oh my word, it's so heavy. It's like twice as heavy feeling as any other gem that I've got. I don't know, that would be good to weigh it. I think we should do that. Let's plan to weigh some malachite. I'm gonna take a note. This was actually a stone that was going to someone for their birthday a while back, which makes it unfortunate that I do not have it. It's the stone that protects you against travel agents. Yeah, they see malachite and they're like, oh, they spent their money already. Protects you against that. Let's get the microscope ready. That's called the Get the Microscope Ready song. I think we're gonna make an album out of this. We're going platinum. Well, maybe not platinum, but platinum plated. Blanc. Boom, doo doo doo. Charge. Money for your services. Windows Vista would have to start with XP before EP. Fall Dog says, that's a nice green. Well, you would know. And I appreciate the input. It is a nice green, isn't it? You know, I matched the text on the photo, on the thumbnail. And I have to kind of go, it's not one of those pre-chosen colors. I have to kind of move around the color bar, and it's a little bit on the blue-green side as opposed to the yellow-green side. Eep. You gotta put 2 E's. If it was Microsoft, it'd be ED. It'd be like EPED. Yellow-green is on the other side of the spectrum. It receives a completely different prescription. I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm like, oh, let's just chat away about stuff and things and stuffing things with our EPED. Hey, yeah, you guys are great, and that's why do the show is for you. Gotta start my singing career. Okay, it's not logging in. There we go. Now, smart camera is not a valid I say it's an integer if I want it to be an integer. The interneter. Oh, shnikes. Whoa. Wait a minute, I thought we were on this part. This part of the show. Ooh, what kind of float? A root beer float? Man, look at those big scratches and divots and all that. I wonder if I can get those polished down. I don't want this thing to crack apart. That's why we're looking at it under the microscope. It's such a big old honky-donk, ka-chonka-donk of iolite. Yeah, there's a pretty good sized divot there too. That's alright though, it's on the edge, so we can get rid of that. Most chunks of iolite are like about half the size of this peridot. Like half the size of it. And this thing is big, baby. It's showing you where it's at. You gotta lube it up before you put it on your neck. And so I'm like kind of excited about it. It's gonna be a really neat big chunk of iolite. And I mean, you can see through it and everything once it's polished, but I'm worried about it cracking apart. See, it's definitely got some clarity to it. I need to get like a backlit microscope cam. That might help a little bit. I don't know. Not a whole lot of looking through it to be done. This is not the best microscope cam portion of the program. Zoom. I think those cracks are mostly superficial though. I just haven't ground down far enough to get them out. Kiwi, let's make a VR microscope cam. That's what we need. We can just delve down in there like some Star Trek stuff. Fake Pepsi. A root beer constraint. What's a constraint? pretty iolite. Brilliant blue-green, governor. Thank you, sir. Ah, you guys are amazing. Get a DSLR with 5,000 micro points and a macro lens. Root beer concentrate. Okay, you gotta constrain the root beer to get it to concentrate. It needs some ADHD medicine. That's how you get your root beer to focus. You know what I bought? Cat treats. Why? For a cat. He's a good cat. And he deserves some lickable treats. I was trying to think about it, because these are the liquid treats that you squeeze out. And I knew somebody once who had some, and she would like squeeze out a little and they'd lick it off because they're a cat. And I'm like, that's gotta hurt on your tongue. But then I started thinking, it's kind of like a freezer stick. I mean, freezer sticks will cut you, but who cares? Ice and sugar, right? You know? So I thought, well, okay, these will be cool. They'll be kind of like a freezer stick. And the cat really does like them. Really does like licking. I guess that's what cats do. I know I like to lick a kitty. So these lickable treats are delicious, but I was like, well, cats like all treats. They just like love. So it's basically a form of liquid love. But really, I think it comes down to the fact that the liquid treats are better because it's easier to clean up liquid barf than it is to clean up chunky barf. Just a thought. Alright, now that I've grossed out my entire audience of all you people, that's basically what I bought, and that's why I bought that. But see, here's the thing. I always wanted to kind of delve into more of it than that. Because I'll go to the aisle, which you can see in the slideshow, and there's a whole heap load of lickable treats, right? There's a lot of different ones to choose from. Why did I pick what I picked? Well, I didn't want to go with off-brand because who wants to show your pet generic love? You want to go with some brand name love. Now we're talking. And so, out of all the ones to pick, there's all these brands that I've never heard of, but they put some money into the picture on the box. And I'm like, I'm never actually gonna know which one's the best. That's up to the cat to decide. So I went with Friskies because it's not overpriced. It's not like they have cursive lettering on the package or anything like that. But it also seemed like they put enough in there. Big old fat cat wants to eat. Not gonna jip him out of, tiny little package and we're done. And I give my cat diabetes if I have to. Live that roll around the kitchen tubby love life. So that's basically which one I picked, and that's why I picked it, is because it was blue. The packaging's blue. That's why I bought that. The pink one was pink, the orange one was orange, and the blue one was blue. So I went with blue. Skibbity-doo. Okay, what are we on next? That's the end of that video. I think we're just gonna kind of let another chunk of video roll. Oh, here's a piece. Yeah, we're finished. This is where we finish it. All right. Yay for more video. Okay. So, where were we in terms of showing the show? My cat likes the chicken ones. Colette, I was looking and I was like, this is probably just a bunch of vegetable oil mixed with like chicken gizzards or something. I'm not sure. What do they feed cats? Anyways, there's fish, tuna, and chicken. And the ingredients for all of them, because I'm like, there's no nutritional facts on the box. It's cat food. There is actually nutritional facts on the box for cat food. And all of them, the ingredients said water, tuna. Water tuna, water tuna. And I get it, because even the chicken one is tuna, because tuna is the chicken of the sea. Pretty smart, huh? I have my moments. Expensive gravy. It is a gravy. And who doesn't love some gravy, right? I pour that sauce on everything. I had a few jokes. I probably forgot them by now, but I did have a few jokes this week. Let's see what we got. I decided that I'd take up a new hobby. My new hobby is napping. I'm really getting into my new hobby. I like to take naps. I had this great idea where I'm just going to make my entire floor into a bed. Then it will literally be a bedroom. But the problem is it's going to take at least 2 hours to make the bed. I mean, by the time I get done making the bed, I'm going to need a nap. Gotta bake the bed, then you make the bed. Oh man, I was thinking about parking. See, in Iowa, parking is easy. You can basically park anywhere, however, wherever, whyever, and you don't even have to tell anyone. There's a lot of parking out here. We got more parking spaces than we have bedrooms. But in New York, the parking spaces are really close together. They're really small. Like the last parking space I got in New York, the space was so tight it had its own OnlyFans. And they're really expensive too. You'd think at that price they'd lube it up a bit, but no, I had to parallel it in there all raw dog. I like to play Hungry Hungry Hippo, but only if I get to be downhill. Because then I'd win every time. You know? Yeah. Every time. Alright, anyways. This isn't a joke, but it's also funny. I don't like getting sunburned. I usually put on some suntan spray. But this week I got sunburn on my eyelids. That's the joke. You can laugh at that. Sunburn on your eyelids. Every time I blink, I'm reminded of how hot the sun is. Okay, sometimes I smile because I'm happy, and sometimes I smile because I'm just trying to hang on. And people say, Jacob, why do you smile so much? And I tell them my old joke. It takes 38 muscles to frown. I read this somewhere, and by read I mean I scrolled it on TikTok. It takes 38 muscles to frown and only 7 muscles to smile, which basically means I have a lazy face. Okay, this was a note, and I don't remember how it went, but it sure was funny. I wish I had the clip from that. It was a show I did on Tuesday, and we were talking about dating, and I said something about hot sauce, and I'm like, I don't really like it spicy. I can't say that. Something about is saying in my dating profile that I can't handle it being too spicy. I bruise easily. Although I do have calluses on my hands from self-service. I don't know. That was a terrible joke. This is supposed to be PG. Definitely go get your P for some G. They'll help you with that one. Oh, it's weird being tall. I'm afraid of heights, so I get jealous of short people. But at least I'll never kill myself by jumping off of something. Because I'm afraid of height. I don't know. That's not even a funny joke. We're moving on. Moving on. Moving on. I'm gonna make a comedy special, and I think we're gonna call it the No One Special. I think that's a good name. Special. I should call it Special One. No One Special. Oh, I think I told this joke last week already. I hope I've improved it a little bit since then. No, wait, one other one. Okay. I, so this is just kind of me talking about reality. On one end of it, I'll be in a store and I see somebody bring in their dog, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, you can't be bringing dogs in here. They'll get fur and they'll lick things and jump on stuff. But really, I don't care that much. Bring your dog in. I'm actually happy to see a dog, because it's kind of like a break from the reality of stores. I have been traumatized by advertising. There is just too much advertising all over inside these stores, and when I see a dog who's all happy to see me and ready to get petted, it's like, wow, this animal is way less aggressive than the advertising. Not sure if there's a joke in there yet or not, but that's definitely a thing. Hi, Charisse. Good to see you. And good to see you, 710. Cheers. I don't think I have the chat bot set up yet, but I do need to throw some tomatoes. Who doesn't like tomatoes? You can type your own tomato thrown in there. It is tomato season. Why not throw a few watermelons? Can you throw a little bit of salad dressing while you're at it? I'm okay with that. So I was raised Catholic, and for those of you who don't know, when you go to a Catholic church, you stand there, and then you sit, and then you stand, and then you sit, and you kneel, and you stand, and you sit, and then you stand, and then you kneel, and you stand, and you sit, stand, kneel, stand, sit, stand, kneel, kneel, stand, sit. I feel like I'm doing calisthenics. And I tried going to a church without all that, and I started getting restless leg. And I'm in there, I'm thinking, why am I Catholic? The reason is probably because the Catholic Church is like, it's sort of like the most concentrated of the Christianities. It's like the espresso of Christianity, because they're so strict. It's really, really potent. And with the sin and I do, I definitely need something extra strength. But that's confusing, because when it comes to baptizing, they just pour just a tiny little handful of water over your forehead. Just a little bit. It's like they're rationing the blessings. And in the Baptist church, they take and they dunk your whole body down in the pool, and then they pour some chlorine in after to cleanse the sins of the previous churchgoer. But really, I think when it comes to baptizing me, I'm going to need to be baptized with a fire hose, or maybe a pressure washer. Definitely something gas powered. Broom. Gotta wash away. Okay, I'm not sure where I'm going with that one, but it's a start. And it's also a finish to the show. I love seeing you all. Thanks for coming by. Hidden Valley. I love a good Hidden Valley. Yeah, the salt will definitely add a little bit of seasoning to my baptism. We need some, I don't know, I get a little salty when I start thinking about a jet wash. Maybe just one of those automated car washes. You could just kind of give me across and lay me down and strap me to the hood. Take me through the car wash, baby. I'll even sing the song. At the car wash. At the joke portion of the program. We're telling jokes for the audience. You guys are amazing. I'm glad you all made it. I hope you have a wonderful week. You guys are my favorite part of the week. And it's going to be a great week. You all deserve it. And I hope I get to see you next week and every week at 9 p.m. Eastern. Big love.